It's time for the moment you've all been waiting for since Agent Venom started. Venom versus Spider-Man. Who will win? Who will lose? Let's find out. This has been following the story of Agent Venom from the beginning of his tale all the way to him going into space, and finally now he's returning home. If you want the full story, click the link to the playlist. Now in our last video, Flash had fought against Tarna, who was another agent of the cosmos trying to bring Venom in for questioning. Still filled with rage, Venom himself managed to escape and he went on a bloody rampage across the galaxy, baiting Flash as he went along. However, as Flash worked with Tarna, they managed to capture Venom and bring him before the council. But they knew deep down that the reason for Venom's behavior is because of Andy, back down on Earth, the other symbiote that he created that had been overrun by the mark of the devil. After Venom was contained, Flash and the others went to the Clintar homeworld, where Venom was placed under trial because of his recent actions. As everyone watched the trial, they could hear Venom scream out in pain, and Flash says that this isn't a trial, it's an execution. Deep down in the pit of the arena, Venom stands there trying to defend himself against the other Clintars who tell him that he needs to still be cleansed. Flash tries to enter the arena, but a force field blocks his path. Pick then asks what does he plan on doing, and he says that he's going to go in and even the odds a bit. Pick says that sounds like a terrible plan. Mind if she joins? Flash and the others sneak down into the entrance of the arena where the two guards are stationed. Just as Flash jumps in to fight them, Mitchell calls out for everyone to stand down. He's seen enough bloodshed for one day, so open up the blast shields. The guards ask if he's sure, and Mitchell says that if the human wishes to die with his friend, so be it. The shield doors begin to open, and through Mitchell, Tarna's voice tells him to jump. Mitchell runs through the doorway, shouting to Tarna, asking what has she done. Tarna changes back from Mitchell's form and tells Flash that he needs to hurry. Go! Flash jumps down through the opening into the arena, and he asks Venom if he needs a little help. Venom, still filled with rage, lashes out at Flash, and Flash says that he probably should have seen that one coming. While the Clintars continue to attack Venom, Flash grabs a battle axe and he cuts down on one of them, asking if they would like to pick on someone who's remotely their size. Back in the corridor, Tarna and the rest of them battle against Mitchell, and she shouts for them to stop the trials. After grabbing Pick's daughter Hilla, Mitchell tells them that the trials will finish when a judgment has been made. Over in the arena, Venom begins to pick himself back up, and Flash tells him, "You do know that the Clintar didn't attack until you attacked them, right? They're supposed to be agents of the cosmos, keepers of peace, so maybe you should give that peace a chance." The other Clintars stand around and they all get ready to charge in, attacking again, and Flash says that he probably should have seen that one coming too. As all of the Clintar attack, they each begin to wrap themselves around Flash and Venom, showing them Venom's past. A voice tells them that the cleanse shall be purifying Venom. However, they have proven themselves worthy. The cleanse showed that something was missing, and Flash says that he knows exactly what that missing thing is. Andy and the symbiote known as Mania, and the Hell Mark. As the visions begin to fade, a Clintar says that Andrea Benton must be cleansed. Only then will Venom be free of the pain that haunts him. Though the Hell Mark cannot be cleansed on its own, there is a way to temper its effects. An image of a planet is displayed, and the Clintar go on to state that there's a temple on the planet Wemb. If they drink from the fountain of purity, it will keep Andrea's demons at bay and allow her to be cleansed. Now go in peace. A short while later, everyone begins to head back to the ship to leave for Wemb. But Mitchell stops Tarna. He tells her that it was a noble thing to stand up for her friends, but when they return, the Clintar will see if she is still worthy of fighting for the cosmos. Once aboard, Flash says that he should go with them, but Pick says that they will go to Wemb and he shall return to Earth. And as they leave back down on Earth, Andy continues to struggle with the rage that is within Mania. Flash quickly reaches Philadelphia and he begins his search, following up on some of Andy's most recent killings. He follows the trails to the outside woods, and suddenly Venom begins to cover him. He asks what's wrong, and Venom says, "We're being watched." Suddenly, several poles shoot down into the ground around Flash and they emit sonic disruptors. Venom screams, "Turn it off!" And inside, Flash says, judging by the color scheme of these, he knows who just did it. Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, flies down on his ship stating, "We are way overdue for a catch-up." Over on Wemb, Tarna and the others make their way into the temple caverns when Tarna mentions that she doesn't understand why this place is empty. Ika turns back stating that they're not the only ones seeking this temple, and then a voice tells them, "No." Everyone turns back and they see a group of people standing there stating, "You are most certainly not." Pick asks, "Who are they, thieves?" And everyone throws their arms up, and Tarna says, "No, they are much worse. They are the Space Knights." Back on Earth, Peter tells Flash that he knows what he's thinking. Who catches up by caging an old friend? Well, last time they tangled, they were a bit of a handful. Flash slams his arm into the ground, and the tendrils from Venom crawl through the dirt, and they throw the disruptors into the air. He shouts out, "I don't want to fight!" And Peter asks him, "Are you sure? Because you just destroyed a couple $1 million in our research and development breaking those." Flash tries to get away, but Peter follows up behind him, webbing him down down and pulling him back. After punching Venom in the face, he jumps on trying to stop him, but Flash says, "I don't want any of this!" Flash manages to jump away, but Peter says, "I've got a friend in there." Venom punches into the airship, pinning Peter against a tree, shouting, "Flash Thompson is my friend too!" Venom then grabs Peter and he rips him away and throws him off to the side. Peter takes out a small tuning fork and he yells for him to stop. The fork amplifies the sound, and the force begins to rip Venom away from Flash. Flash looks up and Peter tells him, "Don't worry, you're gonna be safe now." But Flash gets up telling him, "You don't understand. Venom is my friend, he's changed." After grabbing the containment device, Peter tells him, "I'll be more than happy to listen once we get Venom back to the lab. But judging that Venom isn't in there, he's right behind me, isn't he?" Venom grows and he screams, "No, Cage!" And he punches into Peter. Peter shouts out, "Fine, we'll do it the old-fashioned way," and he jumps back in, tackling into Venom again. He punches and kicks at him, and in the moment of confusion, he wraps Venom up in his webbing. Venom flexes, ripping the webbing away, and he grabs Peter by the neck with his tongue. He throws Peter's body into the trees and into a car in the street, shouting, "No, Cage!" As Peter's body slams into the car, he says he gets it. No cage, no host. But remember, I used to be a host too, right? Maybe we can talk about it over some lunch. He tries to jump back into the fight, but as Venom swings around, knocking him back down, he asks if he was actually a host. While Peter picks himself back up, he says him not remembering hurts his feelings. And then Venom walks over and begins to wrap himself around Peter, and he tells him, "Welcome back!" Darkness begins to surround Peter, and he shouts that he's willing to accept his surrender now. And as he looks around, he says he likes what he's done with the place. Very minimal, yet homicidal. Images begin to flash, and Peter finds himself in a cave, and Venom's voice rings out as he shows Peter the place that he was born. The place where they were bred to become agents of the cosmos. However, for him, his first host was not worthy, and created a thirst inside of him, making him addicted to rage. But Flash brought him where he can be cleansed. However, in the process, he lost all of his memories. He tells Peter that he is not the Venom that he once knew. He will not enter his mind and feed on his rage. Peter asks him, "What rage? I don't have any." And Venom tells him, "Respectfully, you are teeming with it. For me, which is deserved, I'm sure." Venom then points to a light, and Peter asks if that's the way out. And Venom tells him, "In a matter of speaking, not all of me is cleansed, which is why me and Flash are here in Philadelphia." Moments later, Peter is released from Venom, and Flash tells him that he can explain. But Peter tells him not to worry about it, his partner here has him covered. Venom goes on to tell Peter, "I do not know what I did to you in the past, but I can only hope to earn your forgiveness in time through my actions." Peter tells everyone that this was not what he was expecting, but hopefully they can forgive him as well for jumping to his conclusions. As Flash and Peter shake hands, there's an explosion and Venom shouts, "Look out!" Through the smoke, a group of bounty hunters step up, pointing at Venom, calling out the monster is like her. Seize it! Peter leans over to Venom and whispers that he's pretty sure she's talking to him. And just as the bounty hunters begin to attack, Venom and Peter begin to web them up, and Venom shouts at the leader asking, "Where's Mania?" The woman says that she mostly sticks to the sewers. They were just hoping that if they attacked, that maybe she would show up. As the woman goes on, Peter webs up her mouth, telling her that he stopped listening after she said sewers. After grabbing a costume replacement back in his ship, Peter grabs the canister that he was going to use for Venom, and he says that they should probably go ahead and try to find their friend. Over on Wemb, Pick asks what's the difference between the supposed to be agent of Cosmos and the Space Knights. One of the Space Knights says they don't have to answer to anyone, and the female commander adds that they don't banish anyone for being a little off. They accept their members just as they are. She then fills the canister with an elixir, and as she does, Ika turns around asking, "What is that foul beast there?" Another member says that is Wink, and he is the reason they came here in the first place. Wink tells them, "Wink's sorry. Wink wanted to warn Maya of the outside trolls are coming." Maya asks how many are coming, and Wink says, "Wink fairly certain that all of them are outside." Back in the sewers of Philadelphia, Flash and Peter begin their search for Mania, and they stumble across an area that looks like someone has been staying there. Flash quietly says that he's sorry that she had to live in the sewer, and then a voice asks, "Are you sure? Then show me how sorry you really are." Andy jumps in, clawing at Flash, knocking him into a wall, and then continues to slash away. But as she swings, Flash doesn't fight back, and she asks him, "Why won't he fight her?" Flash falls into the water, telling her that he won't because he deserves this. He's sorry for leaving her. He's also sorry for this. Peter crawls down from the ceiling, and using the tuning fork, he shouts, "Time out!" blasting both symbiotes off of their hosts. Flash gets up and he runs over to Andy, telling her not to worry, he's got her. And Peter says that he's got them. Well, both of them. Venom and Mania, that is, so they should probably hurry over to the lab. A short while later, over at Parker Industries, Philadelphia, Philadelphia branch, Flash and Peter let Andy rest while they review Venom and Mania. Peter looks at the canister, stating that they look pretty good for being a pile of alien goo. Flash says that the cleanse seems to have worked before, but the hell mark that was placed on Venom remains an issue, which hopefully his friends should be able to help them clear. Spider-Man heads out, stating that he has to hurry back to New York to handle some things, but he tells Flash that if he needs Spider-Man for anything, let Peter Parker know. Flash checks on Andy and then asks Venom how's everything going inside. Venom says that he has cleansed the symbiote, but the Hellmark, well, Mania is afraid. Flash tells him that there shouldn't be anything for Mania to be afraid of. They are here to help. But Venom stops him, telling him that Mania is not afraid of them. It's afraid of Andy. The light begins to fill the room, and Andy begins to get up from her bed, bearing the Hellmark on herself. Demons begin to crawl out from a fire that surrounds Andy, and she begins to drag Venom and Flash down. Flash begins to fight off the demons, telling Andy that she needs to stop this, but Andy says that the Hellmark made its choice. It burned through the symbiote to where it belongs, on her. She then calls out to the demons to go ahead and bring Mania back to her, and while they're at it, bring Venom as well. Flash continues fighting back the demons trying to escape, but he doesn't get very far as more demons begin to chase after them. Flash stops to get ready to fight, and Andy appears before him, swinging down with a fiery sword, splitting Venom in half and exposing Flash. She holds the sword up, telling him, don't worry, she'll keep Venom nice and warm for him. But before she could swing, a blast fires in their direction, forcing Andy to take cover. Tarna walks up holding a gun, telling him that she's sorry that they're so late. 803 assists putting Venom back onto Flash, and Flash tells everyone, welcome to my planet. Ika says that this place has a foul odor and feels unstable. She likes it. Flash turns back and looks at the Space Knights and asks who exactly are they. Mahia introduces herself along with a blob named Punch and a spider named JK. Mahia then says they brought the elixir with them and it seemed like it worked on Wink, so hopefully it'll help his friend. Though keep in mind, this isn't a cure. Flash sighs, telling them there's always a catch. Does anyone else feel that rumbling? And the rumbling becomes more and more unstable as a giant demon bursts out of the ground, knocking everyone away. Flash quickly puts up a shield and tells Pick that he's got an idea, and he throws Ika at the demon crystal thingy. Hilla cheers, shouting, make her fly! And Pick gets ready and tells Ika good luck. As Hilla is thrown, Ika calls back that she doesn't need luck. She has a blade of fire and rage, and she slams the sword down into the demon's chest. The demon falls back, and as it withers away, more smaller demons begin to crawl out of the cracks of the demon. Flash jumps in, grabbing Ika, stating, like I said, there's always a catch to these things. As everyone begins to get backed into a corner, Flash calls out for everyone to stay close, and 803 tells him, respectfully, sir, I think the end is finally here. I am grateful that we shall experience it together. Andy and the demons begin to walk towards the group when suddenly a giant hand slams down, grabbing a handful of the demons. Wink pulls back, biting into them, stating, Wink hungry. While Andy gets ready to summon more demons, Flash jumps through the crowd, tackling Andy down, and he sticks the elixir needle into her neck. Slowly, Andy begins to fall to the ground and whispers that she doesn't want to be angry anymore. She then picks herself back up, looking around, asking what has she done. Flash tells her that it's not her fault, it was his for leaving her. As Mania bonds back onto Andy, she says no, it was the Hellmark's fault. And Flash adds that too is kind of on him. He goes on telling her that the injection is only temporary, but as he hugs her, he says that they'll figure it out together. Everyone begins to gather back up in the forest, and Tarna tells Flash that she isn't going to be going back to the Agents of the Cosmos. Their little adventure made her realize that she would much rather not answer to anyone but herself. The two shake hands, and Flash tells her thank you for everything that she has done for them. Mahia says the entire crew is coming with them, and he's welcome to come as well. But Flash looks back at Andy playing with Hilla, and he tells her that maybe down the road he will. But there's some things that he needs to take care of back here on Earth. He then turns to Ika, and before he can even say anything, she kisses him and tells him that he will always have a place in her husband's stable if he ever chooses to come back. And Flash tells her, duly noted. Pick pats Flash on the back, saying that she isn't going to kiss him, but the Rolos are forever in his debt. And as everyone boards Mahia's ship, 803 asks, what's next? And Flash tells him, that's up to you. 803 tries to state that he will stay, but Flash tells him that he's going to say this one last time. 803, you're free. 803 hugs Flash, telling him, I will miss you. And Flash says, prove it by outliving all of us. A little while later, Flash and Andy watch as Mahia's ship takes off. Andy says that the descent thing is still out there, and she's still cursed. The end. Flash smiles and states that this is not the end. Long live Venom and Mania. So let's go out and do some good. Mania covers Andy and she tells him, you're such a dork. And if you could do me a favor, shift back to the old look for just one day. That looked so much better. The two begin to web away and Flash shifts back to his original Agent Venom form. And Flash tells her, for her, anything. And that concludes the Agent Venom run. It really does, because this is where it resolves. We have an ending to the Hellmark, we have an ending to Andy, we have an ending to the Space Knight adventure, and the next adventure, we don't know how, but Flash has lost Venom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this rather long series that we've brought to you every Sunday. If you want to be on board for the next series that we're going to be bringing you, I'm not sure what it's going to be next. We'll probably pick it up in a couple of weeks, but subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date. Let me know what you thought about the entire Agent Venom run in the comments down below, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Comicstorian. I'll see you guys next time right here.